Is this normal? It's probably nothing serious. Maybe I'll feel better tomorrow.
Emergency symptoms can be good at hiding. That's why you shouldn't ignore symptoms like chest pain, high fever, trouble breathing, or severe stomach pain. They could be a medical emergency in disguise. Thankfully, an Eastside ER is ready to serve you 24/7 with fast wait times and dedicated ER experts, so we can quickly help turn your questions into answers. Visit eastsidemedical.com.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio. Gwinnett Business Radio is cared for by Eastside Medical Center, providing quality care to Gwinnett County and the greater Atlanta area for over 38 years.
And hello again, everybody, and happy 2020. Mike Salmon along with Stephen Julian from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio in the beautiful Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. Happy New Year, Stephen.
Happy New Year to you, Mike. No matter what year anyone is listening to this show, Happy New Year to them, right?
Exactly. If you're listening to this in 2021, hopefully it's still a Happy New
We
Year.
We know it will be relevant and timely.
Yeah. If you've gone back to the future and it's 2015.
Or 1955 and the thing under the sea dance, or
yes,
or even early. Yeah, okay, sorry.
We are rocking to get this year off to a great start. We've got a couple great guests here in the studio. Joining us is Lori Harbin from the Movie Tavern by Marcus. I love that place.
It is. It's a fantastic.
Great
place.
movie and a good meal. And Rachel Gibson is going to talk about real estate. She's with Seven Keys Realty.
And you have been time traveling because you just said rockin', so I like that. Mike, I want to remind all of our listeners that Gwinnett Business Radio is cared for by Eastside Medical Center, quality care close to home. Eastside Medical Center has been a community healthcare leader for over 39 years, nationally recognized for patient safety. Eastside focuses on delivering quality care with exceptional outcomes by using the most advanced technology and experienced physicians. For more information on Eastside's system of care, visit eastsidemedical.com.
Shall we start?
Let's do it.
Lori Harbin is the Regional Account Manager with Movie Tavern by Marcus. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning.
Movie Tavern, I'm familiar with the one that's here off Lawrenceville Swanee Road.
Correct.
In Gwinnett County, but there's also one in Tucker?
There is. We've got one in Tucker, and we've got one in Roswell that's kind of Woodstock, kind of Roswell, kind of Marietta.
Yeah.
People have different ideas what it is. It's East Cobb.
For those not familiar with the Movie Tavern, tell us what it's all about.
So we're a full-service cinema eatery. Come watch first-run movies. We've got all the new releases. Sit back, relax, have dinner, have a drink, have a cocktail, have dessert, have concessions. We have it all. Most of our locations have recliners. Swanee will have them soon.
Nice.
It's a fabulous experience.
You were telling me, and by the way, we're doing this podcast the beginning of January, but you were telling me there's some renovations about to go on in Swanee.
There is. They are scheduled to kick off next week. So our Swanee location is going to have 100% DreamLoungers. They're getting a bar renovation as well. Probably some other cosmetic things happening in the building too.
And that conversation came out of a conversation that the Tucker location just kind of finished their renovation. Is that correct?
That's correct. And the Tucker location, for any of the listeners that had been there, when you walked into that building before, it still felt like it was 1986. It had that look of the old.
That's not all bad.
No, not all bad.
Not all bad.
But, in this day and age, people expect a certain level of seats and comfort. Right. And so now the Tucker location is all recliners as well. The SuperScreen auditorium with Dolby Atmos sound has heated seats.
Wow.
It's the only one in Atlanta that we have with heated seats.
Nice.
So full experience now.
When you do the renovation for the reclining seats in Swanee, make sure you get Stephen over there, and you got to get the Stephen Julian seal of approval.
We can do that.
It is nationally recognized by people who know that lazy people, you want their seal of approval on recliners.
That is great news, Lori, because I'll tell you, my wife and I, we will actually travel a lot further to go to the cinemas that actually have the reclined seating.
Yep.
It's really hard to go back once you experience them. I'm not going to lie.
Once you recline.
Well, the movie/dinner things are starting to pop up and become more popular. What makes Movie Tavern by Marcus a little different from the others?
We've been doing it since 2008. The Tucker location actually opened that year in Atlanta, so we've been around in the city for a while. You can say, everybody says the same thing. Our food is great. Our service is great. This is great. I really do think the difference is the people. A lot of our staff, a lot of our managers have been with the company for a long time. guests come in and they recognize the servers. They, come in specifically to be in a theater with certain servers. They know the bartenders know them. It really does feel like you're going into a neighborhood spot in a lot of ways, and not just in the movie theater with 500 other people at 7 o'clock to watch the new movie.
And for those that have never been to Movie Tavern, it's a full menu. It's not just a typical movie food and popcorn and maybe some chicken fingers. I mean, you have a full menu.
We sure do. We have steak and shrimp. We've got salads. My favorite is the grilled cheese and the tomato soup in the winter.
Ooh, nice.
Sometimes I eat it in the summer.
Nice.
We have full bar, cocktails, wine, specialty drinks. They will usually... There's some that are always out, the Wonder Woman, the Spider-Man, but drinks will come out specific to movies. Sometimes menus will come out specific to movies.
Oh, nice.
We're hoping in 2020 there'll be some regional items that come onto the menu as well. So maybe we'll bring in a touch of the South here. So
when you say full menu, you're talking about salads, you're talking about sandwiches, you're talking about burgers, and not just like a slice of pizza, but like artisan crafted pizza type things.
Full 12-inch personal pizza. We also have a gluten-free crust.
Nice.
So we're looking out for everybody. Everybody's busy in this day and age. Everybody's connected 24/7. If you've got a night out from your kids and you're having a date night, it's hard to commit 4 hours to go to a restaurant and then go to a movie. So
combine them.
Come in
a recliner.
Exactly.
It's
we open the
thing.
theaters 30 minutes before, so you can come in and relax. You don't have to feel like you're rushed to get everything ordered. Then the previews start, so you've got a little bit more time. And then the goal is that the servers are as non-disruptive as possible. So they'll crouch down. They'll only come if you push the button and you need them for something. But if you want to refill on anything or you want to order something else, they're going to come take care of you.
I know in some of the other places that also serve meals, sometimes one of the issues is the place you have to set your plate on barely fits your plate. And now when you're adding recliners to that, talk a little bit about how comfortable I'm going to be, not just because of reclining, but eating in a recliner.
Each of the trays on the new recliners are rectangles. So they're a little bit bigger than the kind of triangular ones we have now.
Yeah, triangle squares. Yeah.
The first time I was in a recliner, it felt a little weird at first, but I got used to it really fast. You have to find that right reclining level that works for you.
There's a tightrope to walk. You can recline, but if you're too reclined, that's hard to eat.
Like my husband does not recline while he's eating. Okay. That's his thing. Like he will not recline while he's eating. It doesn't matter that he's pretty much at the same level.
That just means he eats faster when the food arrives because he wants to recline.
Well, I'm like that, though. I'm like that. But and then once the movie starts and I'm done eting, I recline it all the way back.
I do, too.
Yeah.
I can't because I would fall asleep, and I'm there to see the movie. So,
I have not fallen asleep yet, which it shocked me because I see a lot of movies, and I'll see a lot of movies with my husband that I might not want to see. And I have not fallen asleep in those either.
There you go. That's seal of approval right there. We're speaking with Lori Harbin. She is the regional manager of Movie Tavern. We've got Movie Tavern locations here in Suwanee on Lawrenceville Suwanee Road, also in Tucker, and we'll just say East Cobb.
Yes,
is that
East Cobb. That works.
That's a better way to say it. Other question I want to ask, we are Gwinnett Business Radio. Is Movie Tavern available for a business leader who wants to use a nice location to do a meeting or to do a team building exercise?
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about reaching out to the business community.
Right, and that's what I do as the regional account manager for Movie Tavern. I book the groups in. So it may be that you want to come in and you're looking for a space to do a meeting because you don't want to do it in a hotel ballroom. You're too small for the hotel ballroom. You don't want to pay for the AV that you need in a hotel ballroom. So come in, sit in our seats, soon to be recliners. Super comfortable for your guests. They don't fall asleep either. We'll put that out there. I've watched a lot of meetings. I've not seen anybody asleep yet. But then we have connections that drop down in the front of each auditorium. So plug in your laptop via HDMI connections. We've got the microphones in-house. Projector pops your presentation up on the big screen, and you go from there.
So I'm an independent financial advisor. That's my day job. I'm allowed to say that by compliance, but I can't say anything else other than that, except past performance is no guarantee of future results. But you do things where you bring clients in. Yeah, I could try and find some restaurant to let me use a back room, or I could put everybody in a recliner.
Exactly.
And then challenge myself to not put them to sleep, and then put my presentation on a giant screen in front of them.
And really what you do, if you really want to get them in and you're not sure they're going to come,
show them a movie.
Tie them in, tie it into the Blockbuster. Come in, do your presentation first.
Yeah.
Dinner, drinks, then
And
the
enjoy
movie.
the movie.
So you could use the space for make your presentation and actually not even do a movie.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but if you really want people to arrive
Right.
and
Seems
be
like the
there
whole
and
reason,
enjoy
yeah.
it,
It's a great way to stretch your marketing dollars. I have a lot of clients that instead of trying to be out there getting in front of people and putting themselves out there, instead they'll invest the money in doing an event. Have them come in, say, hey, thanks for coming. Just want to give you a quick overview of how we can help you. If you want to learn more, let's talk after. We'll set up a one-on-one meeting.
If in like Steven's case, he wants to do a meeting with a bunch of do financial planning and stuff, and then he wants to show Wall Street, which may not be the proper movie to show.
Probably not.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have to use current releases, or how does that work?
We can do retros.
Okay.
It ultimately depends on the film studio. They have all the power. We have none.
What's the most unique thing you've ever seen a company come in and use the Movie Tavern for? Anything that maybe just kind of stood out or a little outside the box?
I think corporate wise, I've had groups that have come in, done their meeting, and then done a full team building with people tossing things in the aisles and doing challenges and using the screen and kind of scavenger hunting around the building. And then everybody sits down and watches a movie. So it really was the entire day experience, and they did a little bit of everything for that meeting.
She had me at tossing things in the aisles and scavenger hunt around the back. That's kind of cool. And in order to do something like that, you have to have a company like Movie Tavern who's willing to go outside the box with you. I mean, I think one of the things everybody, well, they wouldn't let me do that. Well, there's no harm in asking, right?
Oh, no.
I guess that's and that's something that'll set you apart because
Right.
some other movie places might not even let you ask.
During the week, there's a lot of flexibility because it's quiet.
Monday through
as
Friday.
much as we would love
Yeah.
to have thousands of people in on a Monday morning, we all know people work, people go to school. So it's a great opportunity, especially corporate groups that want to come in. They'll be in the morning. The building's not even open yet,
Yeah.
and we'll open up for them to do their meetings. We've also done one of the things that I think is fun. We don't really do it in Atlanta because it happens here is, the LeaderCast event happens at the Infinite Energy
Yeah.
Center every May, and then they do the women's in October. I actually host streaming events in my other states for that event.
like a simulcast.
Exactly.
Nice.
So
And I'm sitting here thinking anybody who is looking for a place to do an employee appreciation, anybody who does a job like I do where you're wanting to get in front of clients, we all know the options. This is a little bit different, a little bit unique, and would set you apart. So give Lori a call.
And I'm also thinking maybe fundraising events. There's probably some unique ideas you can use the Movie Tavern for that.
there's so much you can do. And
so you're only limited by your imagination.
Exactly. And you know what? You don't even have to really use the screens. You could come in if you're looking to do a networking event for any business association. You come in, we will host it in the bar.
That's right, because in the Lawrenceville Swanee location, there's a nice open bar area, nice seating area. So yeah, you don't even have to do it in a theater.
And you're not competing, like if you go to a restaurant, you're competing with the noise of everybody having dinner. When you're in our bar, it's pretty quiet around it because it's just the bar because all the dining's going on in the auditoriums.
All right, I'm in.
You had them at the reclining seats.
Yeah, and that I would be the official seal of approval of Movie Tavern nationwide. That I like.
Yes.
I'm in with that.
You're maybe the first person I call when they say that the auditoriums are opening in February.
I like it.
Lori, for those that would like to reach out and find out more about special events and things like that, do they go to the website? Should they reach out to you? How does that process work?
All the roads. If you go to the website, if you reach out to me directly, if you find me on LinkedIn, they all come back to me. Events at marcustheaters.com ultimately rolls to me. My contact info obviously comes straight to me. If you go watch a movie, you'll see my on-screen ad probably, hopefully.
Oh, okay.
Fingers crossed you see it. It changes every quarter a little bit. So you'll see that. It has my contact info on it. It has a phone number on it. So I try to be very available. I try to have boundaries because, it's movie theater. People are like, oh, it's the movie theater. It's open 365 days a year. But my goal
you have
is
a life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My goal, though, is always to respond to people within 24 hours. So
What was that email again?
you can use events at marcustheaters.com.
And Marcus is Marcus.
Correct. And theater has RES at the end of it.
Oh, the fancy
the
spelling.
fancy,
Oh,
the
I
fancy
like
spelling,
that.
yes.
Well, fancy recliners, fancy food,
Exactly.
fancy movies. And just so everybody knows, we've been talking about the Metro Atlanta area. This is something that you're regional, so
Yes.
that's southeast pretty much.
My region is actually the East Coast.
East Coast.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
So from Atlanta to Syracuse, New York.
All right. Anyone listening in Syracuse who wants to do an event, right? Events at marcustheaters.com.
How many locations?
We have 23 movie taverns across the country.
Wow.
And then we have a whole lot of our legacy Marcus Theater brands as well.
How much traveling are you doing?
I try to only do 2 weeks a month. 2 weeks.
That's
That's
still
right. 2
That's
weeks
still
a
a
month.
lot. That's still a lot.
Mostly I go to Philadelphia.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. If anybody's listening, sorry, I'm a Boston fan, so I think I had to say that. My apologies.
I may have some allegiance to some Philadelphia sports teams.
That's okay.
So
You're
I
allowed
may
to.
have a whole lot. I may have a whole lot of merchandise now because of my travels.
Oh, I like that. One of my best friends is a huge Phillies fan, and we love nothing more than to taunt each other.
There are benefits to being the regional manager with
Amen.
Movie
Yeah.
Tavern by Marcus. Lori Harbin is the, again, regional account manager with Movie Tavern by Marcus. Here in Gwinnett, we get the Sewanee location. And, of course, as you heard, they're all up and down the East Coast. Lori, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
It's great to be here.
Glad to have you.
Not only do we love movies, Mike, and not only do we love Movie Tavern, but we love Subaru. Love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Get big savings and enjoy their hassle-free experience at Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join their family today. Come in and see the difference. If you're already a Subaruist, then follow Subaru of Gwinnett's Facebook page for the latest Subaru offers, news, and community events.
You know, we got a new partner and friend here at Gwinnett Business RadioX.
Tell me all about it,
Duluth Fit Body Boot Camp. It's a dynamic 30-minute workout. Our producer and director of sales and marketing. What is your title these days?
She runs the place.
Director of Business Development.
There you go.
Duluth. Yeah, she Amanda is a big fan of this. She goes all the time. It's a dynamic 30-minute workout done with a personal trainer in a group setting. Their unique workouts help you burn fat for up to 30 hours after you work out. With a health coach on staff, they are dedicated to helping you reach your fitness goals. Exercises are for all fitness levels, ages, and abilities. Visit DuluthFBBC.com or stop by for your free week. Duluth Fit Body Boot Camp. Coach Bob Patrick out there. Great guy. I know Bob. Super fella. And I know he's working your fanny off, isn't he, Amanda?
Hashtag Happy New Rear.
Happy New Rear.
Happy New Rear. Which Amanda told me we are allowed to say until that stops trending.
Exactly.
I'll let you know when.
DuluthFBBC.com. Check them out and say hello and tell them that Business RadioX sent you.
Yeah, and they said Happy New Rear on the air. 3 times at
Happy
least.
New Year. Yeah. Okay. I just got that. I didn't get it the first time or the second time.
Why am I not surprised?
I know. All right. Rachel Gibson, help save me here, Rachel. Rachel Gibson is with Seven Keys Realty. She's the qualifying broker and owner. Welcome to the shenanigans, Rachel.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you here. Tell us all about Seven Keys Realty and what your company does.
Well, Seven Keys Realty is a boutique real estate company that started in 2017. I've been in the industry since 2003, and we're just very excited to help buyers and sellers in the residential real estate market.
I got to ask the name Seven Keys. Where does that come from?
Well, about 5 years ago, it was New Year's. It was the top of the year. And I just kind of wanted to take an assessment of myself as a person and then an assessment of myself as a business person and the services that I offer. And so I had this huge whiteboard, and I put up on the whiteboard all of these phenomenal characteristics of a top producer or a top agent. And so as I was going through the whiteboard, I said, what are the 7 things that you do the most that you can really gravitate towards and say that you own these characteristics? And those were the 7 keys, which is commitment, flexibility, knowledge, passion, persistence, thankfulness, and trustworthiness.
Very good.
That's a good list. That's a very good list.
That's pretty good.
So I wanted to ask, you said a boutique real estate, and boutique has different connotations to different people. Why do you call yourself a boutique real estate firm?
I call myself a boutique real estate firm because in comparison, we don't have as many real estate agents with the firm. We are fairly young and new real estate company. And so when you are looking at a boutique firm, the differences is that we really focus on our agents. We're making sure that our agents are well trained and understand that they're not just agents, that they are business owners. The larger firms, you come in, you get trained, you're taught how to sell real estate, but you're never really taught how to be a business person. So for an example, they never ask you to create a full business plan. They may train you how to market. They may talk to you about the importance of branding the company, but not necessarily branding yourself as an agent. And so one of the things I teach agents, I'm not teaching you to be an agent, I'm teaching you to be a broker. I'm teaching you to understand that you're a 1099 contractor and you need to act accordingly. You're not an employee of Seven Keys Realty. So one of the things we do, we have them to write out a business plan, complete with a staffing model, a marketing strategy, just, all of the elements of a business plan.
And at the end of the day, every realtor that works with you under Seven Keys Realty and they're developing that business plan, that's going to help their clients because they're not going to just be an employee who's churning things out. They're going to be thinking like a business owner, which is good for the homeowner who's selling or buying.
Absolutely.
So you were obviously in the industry. You saw how things were being done. You said, "Hey, I think I can figure out a way to do it better." Mm-hmm. And you kind of took that plunge. It's, I know, scary at times, but I'm sure you have no regrets.
No regrets at all. My past life, I was a senior project manager for a major beverage firm, headquartered downtown Atlanta. And
are we not allowed to say who that would be?
We don't need to. There's no point. She gave a great description.
And so from that experience of being a project manager, I understood all the things that a person would need to be successful. And so with my agents, I mentor them one-on-one. That's another advantage of being with a boutique brokerage, because believe it or not, each agent has a different reason why they enter into the real estate industry. We're finding that when new agents go to the larger firms, about 75% of them really leave the industry within their first year because they were thinking, I'm going to do this part-time, I may be able to leave my job, and it's quick, easy money. But in fact, when you start any company, you're going to be the CEO, the CIO, the CMO, the CFO.
Preach it. Yep.
So, you have to get their mindset synergized around all of these roles and then figure out how are you going to balance that with your current life against your, being a wife and a husband, and a mother and a father and and other being volunteer at the church and all these other things. And so that's some of the things we sit down and work out.
So, if I'm listening to this and I've been thinking about either buying or selling my house, give me some advice as I start to look for a realtor to work with, because I think you talk about these people. 75% turnover within the first year. If that's if that's a pretty reasonable statistic, that's very high, obviously. So it's not just find the first person or my neighbor or a friend who I found out is in that. Help me find that person who's running it like a business and running it well, which I know the easiest answer is we'll call Seven Keys Realty because that's how everybody is there, right? So that's the answer, but help me negotiate that as the buyer seller and finding that person.
I'll tell you an interesting story. When I first started in real estate, I would say I was in as a real estate agent about my first year, and the client was calling, and he said he went down the line of all of these real estate agents, and it got to a point, he said, the first person that answers the phone, I want to do business with that person.
So that's one.
And so two, I would say you're looking for a real estate agent who would be relational. They need to understand that not all buyers have the same needs. Not all sellers have the same needs. And so you want someone who's going to really listen to what you need and specifically deliver those needs. And so I'll say, as you're interviewing them, it's not about how many houses they have sold. It's not about what the large brokerage firm name that they are behind. You want to know that in the clutches, are there going to be your real estate agent who goes beyond the second mile service and do those things to make sure that your transaction is going to be smooth, it's going to be, communication is effective throughout the entire transaction.
Mike, it's the first show of 2020, and already, I wish we could find guests who are passionate about what they did. I'm not hearing any passion. I'm not. If people could be in the studio and see the passionate finger pointing with a lot of love and compassion behind it, but just the knowledge and the depth. We're getting this from both guests already. We're off to a good start.
One of Stephen's big keys is sarcasm. But no, we absolutely can hear the passion and so forth. But you come with a very unique background coming from corporate America. You didn't, just start and get your real estate license and just sell cars. I mean, you sell homes. You
sell cars?
Is
that what you just said?
I don't know why cars came out. But
Subaru of Gwinnett Studios. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes. But and then to work for a major beverage company downtown Atlanta that is unnamed for whatever reason, which is one of the obviously a global leader. You learned how to do things the right way, and so you come with a very unique perspective to an industry that normally doesn't have these kind of views. No
Is there a
question.
question?
No question. Just comments.
So now back to me. So get back to the sarcastic, slightly annoying
I was hoping
co-host
Rachel would just kind of bail me out and kind of go on.
Bring that leadership, that corporate leadership. One of the things I found interesting so far in this interview is clearly you are about your clients, but you are also about your realtors. You are also about the people working with you. Are you looking to expand? Or is there room for more realtors at Seven Keys Realty at this point?
There are room for more realtors, but I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
My first 2 years in the business, I was not recruiting agents. I have not recruited not one agent.
Okay.
All the agents that are with me found me. And so I just wanted to make sure, being the stringent project manager, I like to have everything lined up in order, in place, and making sure before I recruit agents, because I really got into it for myself initially. And now that I have put all of my systems in place, so we have things like a very robust, dynamic customer relationship management tool that we're using. We're a Microsoft shop, so I've figured out how they can best run their business using all of the applications that comes with, Microsoft. Making sure that all of their branding and business cards to step and repeats if they wanted to do conferences and shows is in place. Making sure that they can easily communicate with their buyers and sellers and things of that nature. Excellent presentation skills. So we're working on that. Making sure their listing presentation specifies every single thing that they're going to do for the seller. Making sure that we have communications in terms of, let's say you're on a contract. So we send out, congratulations, your offer was accepted. And then you get these 10 things that's going to occur within the next 7 days. And what your action items that you need to cover? What are my action items that I'm going to do? How am I going to contact the closing attorney and the lenders, and making sure that everybody is a collaborative effort? So I have all of these processes and systems in place now. So now we're ready to begin bringing on other agents and sharing with them how they can better run their business more smoothly. So.
And on top of all that, if anyone listening, it isn't necessarily a real estate agent, but instead wants to sell or buy their house, they're also hearing, hey, they got these systems in place. They're going to be relational and they're going to care for me. I like how you said they'll be with you in the clutches. What are some of the clutches that people deal with when they're buying or selling their home? What are the biggest clutches, and how do they get through that with the right agent from Seven Keys Realty?
Well, each clutch could be unique.
Okay.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah. Give me a good story.
I can tell you this. One example, I had a client who, just had undergone some health issues, and so they were still toggling between, walking with crutches and then having to utilize a wheelchair. And so we were going into all of these homes, and none of them had the wide doors and things of that nature. So I ended up finding them a house very late one Sunday afternoon. I called them. I said, hey, I'm out shopping for you. I've seen this house. I need you to get up, come and look at this house right now. It was a foreclosure, but it was, I would say, about 5,500 square feet. It was a nice size home. Wow. And so I was able to outbid my competitors because the house had a structural defect. And so instead of just submitting a regular offer to the bank, I called one of my architect friends, and they were able to tell us specifically what was wrong with it, how to fix it, and how much it was going to cost. And so I submitted that estimate over to the bank, the lender, for a pre-approval. And so when I submitted my offer over to the selling bank, we were able to outwin the bid over about 25 other offers because we'd already done the homework up front. Then I went another mile with this client. it because I identified it had steps. I called another one of my friends who actually install elevators, and we had an elevator installed into the property. So it was a win-win for everybody all the way around the board.
That's not a second mile. That's a third and fourth mile you're talking
lot
about
of
right there.
miles.
We run into that all the time.
Good miles.
Rachel, we're up against the clock, but for those that would like to find out more about Seven Keys Realty, where can they get the information? And by the way, it's a great website. You go on there and you see a lot of the beautiful properties as well.
All of which say they're sold, so they're doing a good job because they sell people's houses.
They're not.
What is the point of saying I have all of these listings? I never understood that. When I go in for a listing presentation, I say I had all of these listings. They are sold.
I don't care about all of these listings.
Right.
I just want the one house for me.
Right, exactly.
What is the website and any other contact information you want to share?
You can reach Seven Keys Realty at www.7, and that's the word spelled out completely, 7 keys with an S, realty.com, www.7keysrealty.com, and we can be, you can call us at 877-377-KEYS.
Great stuff. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Rachel Gibson with Seven Keys Realty here on Gwinnett Business Radio X. Before we close out the show, want to recognize another one of our great partners here at Business Radio X, and that is the Macronutrient Meal Plan by Chef Jarvis.
Honey, I sure am hungry. There's nothing to eat. I don't feel like ordering takeout.
Me too. I wish we were on the macronutrient meal plan by Chef Jarvis that I told you about. Right now, we could be enjoying Chef's 5-star quality, healthy, and delicious meals. They would have been delivered right to our doorstep.
Well, let's go to his website and sign up now. What was his website?
It's chefjarvis.com. ChefJarvis.com.
I'm on the site. Wow, look at this. He says we can eat like royalty every day without lifting a finger, and all of his ingredients are antibiotic, hormone, and GMO-free. Everything is completely gluten and sugar-free. His plan options are a monthly subscription service, so when we register, we'll get food for the entire month. No commitments, no contracts. This is awesome.
See, honey, I told you. We'll save a ton of money and time on grocery shopping and cooking. With the two of us, we get a multi-person discount.
That was quick. Our first delivery will be here tomorrow. I can't wait.
And I have been a customer of Chef Jarvis, so it's really awesome food.
It's good food.
It is good food and healthy food. That's even more important.
Did you type in the website?
You like the little sound effects there on the
Listen,
commercial?
I love the Apple IIe keyboard from 1985. I'm going to go back in my time machine and get one, and then I'll watch Back to the Future at Movie Tavern, and then sell my house that I bought back in 1985 when I time traveled.
You want me to save you here?
Yeah,
Let me save you and just say, hey, if you want to
At
follow
least I
us,
ask questions. All right, go ahead.
like us on Facebook at Gwinnett Radio X. We also want you to follow us on Twitter at Gwinnett Radio X, and we're also all over LinkedIn, Gwinnett Business Radio X. We're all over social media. You can't get away from us. And plus, we are now expanding our reach. We're on just about every single podcast platform that you can think of.
We have a challenge.
Spotify,
Find a podcasting platform we're not
iHeartRadio.
on.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
It's impossible.
It'd be like going in a scavenger hunt at Movie Tavern. It's just
well,
it'd be a lot of fun.
That would be fun. Speaking of which, we need reclining chairs in the studio. That's my new goal for 2020.
We've already been promised we're going to be the first ones in the new place in Swanee at Movie Tavern and try the
and I get to
reclining
put a
chairs.
seal of approval on the recliners.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, for our guest, Lori Harbin with Movie Tavern by Marcus and Rachel Gibson with Seven Keys Realty. He's Steve and I'm Mike. Thank you, Amanda, for producing. We'll see you next time here on Gwinnett Business Radio.